So in this video I'll be covering why exactly I wouldn't recommend an Orange Pi in regard to what you can do for microcomputers. I've had good experience with Raspberry Pis and a few other versions of it. So I'm just going to show you it quickly to give you an idea of it. So this one itself has in total 2 output HDMI cables and 1 input port. I've tried all 3 on 3 different monitors. None of them work. I've tried using different cables. None of them work. I've tried 3 different SD cards. I've tried a 120GB SD card. It didn't work from SanDisk. I've tried a 32GB from SanDisk. It didn't work. I tried a Kingsoft 16 as well. It didn't work. I've tried 3 SD cards. None of them are working with it. I've also tried in total 3 different kernel systems which all didn't work. I tried Pop operating system. I tried the Android version of Orange Pi. I tried the standard Orange Pi. I also tried Debian from obviously Raspberry Pi, their version. Didn't work. None of it seems to work in it as a whole. Maybe it's just a dodgy one sent me, I don't know. But none of them would work on any SD card. And I did double check that all my SD cards were working. I did try it in Raspberry Pi, it worked fine. I tested it in a Windows computer, it worked fine. I tested it in another style Linux computer, this one here. My Debian 13, it worked without issue. And as a whole, one thing I also thought was kind of odd and a bit weird with the website was, according to their message or information about it, is their kernels haven't been updated since 2023, which is quite old in the software world. I mean, I could understand just take it extreme and say it's 2025, okay, fair enough. But when it starts to get 3 years, it becomes to me quite clearly that this person or this firm is either being run as simply a hobby business or he doesn't take it very serious. Now, please note, I don't know if this is the guy's real name or not because it doesn't. The messages to me don't really sound to make much sense. According to him, his English name is Stephen. Cool. So I contacted him about it to ask him for information, and he told me something about apparently he'll be coming back in like 3 weeks or something like that. Fair enough, man. Your choice. But in general, everything about it just came across to me kind of crummy, because even the packaging, which should be in good quality, is when I opened the packaging with regard to cardboard, which meant to tell you what every part is, it looked like it's been sitting in a warehouse for years, because the cardboard itself has got white all over it. And please note, it was white as soon as I opened it. It wasn't a case that I've had it like in a heated area or something like that and that's what wore it down. That never took place. It was just basically sat in a warehouse. This is why, to me, in general, for when I picked the 5+ starter kit, it just comes across pretty shite. I'm going to be honest with you, pretty shite. Because just to compare this one as an example, to compare it to a smaller computer. So this computer itself cost me this has got 1 terabyte, so it is quite big. It's also got its own button on it, which this one apparently has a button which doesn't seem to work to compare. So I'm just going to put it says the same sort of computer, the same sort of price. So this thing itself has got 16GB of RAM, that's got 16GB of RAM, this one's got a bigger hard drive. It works, it does everything I need, it's a really good cheap computer. I've got no complaints about Gigabyte. I know it's obviously a Chinese brand, I've no issues with it, it feels good. I particularly like the white silver colour when it's on. I think that's pretty cool, pretty smart. That itself would be the same basically price as this. So I mean, for me, if you want a cheap computer, just go for that. Now you can put different kernels on if you want to. If you don't like Debian for some reason, then go with Pop or some other version of Linux if you want to. Sorry. If you want to use Windows instead, then hey, go for it, use Windows, it's your choice. I prefer Linux, but if you want to use Linux, and use Linux. I also noticed as well when I compared it to like a size of like a Raspberry Pi, it's roughly an inch wider. This is just to show you I do have most of the questions off basically Raspberry Pi, so I am well knowledgeable about these things, or quite knowledgeable. This is a Raspberry Pi 1. I bought a car boot so because I didn't have them at the time. I got Raspberry Pi 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got Raspberry Pi laptops. I got Pi tops. I got in total 2 of them. So I would consider myself quite experienced with regard to microcomputers as a whole. And as a further thought in regard to Orange Pi as a whole, which I think is worth saying, is just use this as an example. So this is a case completely jam stuck. I got no way to get into this without obviously burning it, which I don't really see the point. I don't see a point in me having to use a chemical to get a case open. It doesn't really seem worth my time, I'm going to be honest with you. But either way, I would not recommend Orange Pi. The kernel itself hasn't been updated since 2023. That's not professional. I've tried, in total for it, I've tried their own version, I've tried their own Android version, they call it. I've tried a pop version, which a kernel is meant to work. It didn't. I tried a Raspberry Pi Debian system, which, just be aware, it did work in number 1. It did when I tested in number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. It worked without issues. So again, it comes back to this being, to be blunt, a piece of shit. I'm just going to say what I think. If you don't like it, it's cool. I know some people are meant to be very big into Orange Pi. If you are, cool, good stuff. But for me, it was pretty shite, if I'm going to be honest with you. Everything about it was just pretty unprofessional. I mean, the only thing worthwhile I'd say I thought that was quite nice is that, so I can keep my actual real computer value, one of my Raspberry Pis in, but it's going that, it's just pretty crap as a whole. It looked like to me something which has been stuck in a factory for 5, 10, maybe even longer years. There's not really anything I'm seeing which I think would be professional in regard to this, and as well, it's just nothing really impressive, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it could have been nice, it worked, it could have been okay, but it's just one of those things, crap. So if you want a cheap computer, for whatever reason, I'd go with this one. You can get on eBay for about £225. You can get cheaper ones if you want, and say 250 gigabytes instead. If you want that, then hey, go for it. For me, I prefer the terabyte, so I've got bigger space if I need it. But if you need a cheap computer, go with that, that's a better option. Or if you're into Raspberry Pis, and hey, get a Raspberry Pi, whether you want a 1, a 2, 4, or 5, or 6, depending of course when you see the video. Anyway, I hope you have a good day, good week, and I hope you'll consider adopting two first. Thank you. Bye.